Hello, everyone. I am here to share three separate stories where I had to put various men into their place in a social way, in public, in the community, where other people were definitely watching for some of them, and for others there was no one around, but they knew from that point on what was right and what was wrong and what is acceptable for women to deal with in the streets. And there are many layers of this, like every other subject, but I'm just going to go through each scenario and explain what happened. So the first time that I had to put a man in his place, I was in Asia, living in Nepal, in Kathmandu, on the southern side of the city. And I was living and working there. And I had an apartment, a house, a whole 4-story house with a Spanish woman who was a teacher and a professor. So we had this house together, and we had 24-hour security guards in the front of the home, and it was a gated community, so the security guard sat at the front of the gates. So in that city, there are dirt roads on the side roads, and many of the roads are dirt roads, and they have many potholes. So it's like a lot of bumps, and that's why there are so many motorbikes in that city compared to cars, because it's just easier to navigate with the motorbike. And so basically I was on a bus, which is like the public buses that they have, which are like unmarked vans, and they're not sketchy at all. They're regular vans, and they are just their public transit system. And so I'm on the bus going to dinner with a bunch of my girlfriends who were working for different governmental organizations, as well as non-governmental. And most of them were from Europe, but they were all much older than me, and much better traveled than I was. So they kind of knew how to handle themselves probably a little bit more than I did. But I have like a strong enough, intense enough exterior to be like intimidating if I want to be. And I usually come across that way without trying. But so I'm sitting in the bus, and if you've ever been to any part of Asia, really, you'll know that they overflow everything and there's no personal space. So I would be sitting on the bus, and there would be someone sitting right next to me, not just next to me though, like on top of me. Like I've had old ladies, like grandmas, sit on top of my lap on the bus. And like I don't mind for women at all. I just am not gonna do that for a man, and I'll tell you why. So when I'm sitting on that bus with my other girlfriends right here, this guy sits right to the left of me, and I wasn't wearing anything revealing. I don't dress like that. I dress completely covered up. The most like risque that I'll go is like wearing a dress or wearing a crop top that's not even that small, like an extra large crop top. So I was wearing just like jeans or something and a jacket with like a scarf, like I was completely covered. And this guy starts taking his hands and putting them down like into my private areas. And I was just like, I was absolutely shocked and disgusted. And I smacked his hand out of the way, And he was this skinny, weak looking dude. Like, are you lost? Like, excuse me. So he was like, you know, trying to go down there. And I was like, absolutely not. That is just, I mean, are you trying to get yourself killed? Like, I might look weak or whatever, but dude, I will kill you with my own hands. Like, if you touch me this way, like, you chose the wrong one, basically. And so I swatted him off me, and my girlfriends were like, what just happened? And they're like from Switzerland and Germany, and I was like, I'll tell you exactly when I get off the bus, because I'm just so shocked and mad right now, and I'll tell you exactly what happened over dinner, because I can't even explain it right now. So that was the first one. So that one's done. Whatever. Public transportation, you just have to watch yourself. Second one was a little bit more serious and caused a little bit of trauma for me. I was out with my friends at a club in Kathmandu, and it was like, I didn't even know it, but I was sitting next to like a celebrity, an Indian celebrity, and like the prime minister of Nepal, and I just didn't even know who these people were, but I was just like chilling with them. So anyways, I'm on my way home from the club. It's New Year's Eve, really late. I had a couple drinks, but I'm not like openly tipsy. I'm like, you know, composed, like everything's together. And I'm walking on, so my friends dropped me off in the cab, but they didn't take me to my gates. They took me to about, it was like 3/4 of a mile before I could get to my house, and I walked home that night from the cab. I was like, I got it, I'm good. Like, you can just take the main road from here, and I'll just take my way out down the part where there's like the tent houses right there on the river. So I'm walking home around the river, down the river, and these 3 cops are standing there, and they stopped me, and I was like, I live here, like, whatever, like, but I was alone, a little, you know, it's New Year's Eve, so you're coming home late, and I had a phone, but for the light, but my phone was dead, so I didn't have a flashlight, and there are no street lights, so it's actually pitch black there. At night, you need a light or you can barely see, so I could barely see. I was using night vision, and these 3 cops started following me. And I was like, wow, again, you chose the wrong one. So there's 3 dudes, they're all walking. One of them gives up, luckily. He gives up, goes back to his post. There's 2 left, and they keep walking, keep stalking, keep trying to talk to me. I don't say anything. One of them finally puts his hand on me, and to try and get my attention. And I whipped back around like this, and I was wearing heels, and I'm taller than them. So I was kind of standing over them, and they were harassing me. They started harassing me. They started asking me for sex. They speak English. They're not stupid. And they started to touch me. And I was like, dude, I fucking punched one of them in the face. And then I turned around and pushed the other guy onto the ground, and I walked away. And I didn't say one word. And those particular cops don't carry guns. They carry bamboo sticks that they hit people with. So they carry bamboo sticks, and they wear camo. So I probably would have reacted a little bit differently if I was in a different country. I probably would have reacted a little bit differently if they had guns. But nonetheless, I'm not scared of you, and you crossed the boundary, and stop judging people. Just because I look white, just because I look quote unquote weak or whatever it is, like, don't cross people and don't test people inappropriately, because you might choose the wrong one and get hurt. That's why I was so upset, was because I can take those guys down, but a small little Nepali girl, a small little Indian girl, even a skinnier, smaller, shorter American girl, they wouldn't have had that same luck. Like, they may have been stuck there. And this is how people get raped. This is how women get raped. Like, they're not strong enough. They get fucking scared and they flip out and whatever. So even the street dogs knew that I wasn't playing around that night. The street dogs, who usually get a little aggressive at night, I put my hand out like this to them. There was like 5 or 6 of them following me home, and I said, no, not tonight. I was beyond upset, and they could just feel the fire burning off of my face and burning through me. My blood was boiling. I got home, texted my best friend. He's from Nepal, from Kathmandu. I texted him. I was like, dude, this just happened to me. This is insane. They are so low-minded and so disgusting. And they're lucky that I didn't really hurt them. Like, I'll fucking break your neck. You know what I mean? So that brings me to my latest story, which just happened today. This is my 3rd time now that I'm coming into a situation where someone needs to be put in their place. And if you're going to harass me and you're going to choose the wrong one, well, I guess you're going to be on the receiving end of that. So I get so fired up because, like, what if it was a woman that wasn't strong enough? You know? So just today in Philly, I went to Chinatown, parked my car to go to my favorite place. Like, I like to go to my bubble tea place. I get my veggies from this other really good, like, traditional Chinese restaurant. And I just love the vibes, you know? Like, I just love that part of the city, whatever. It's, like, kind of close to my apartment, so it's not crazy out of the way for me to just, like, go pick up some stuff and enjoy myself. So I'm walking, hanging out, just minding my own business, you know? And this dude starts following me. And he was talking so fast and so under his breath, like mumbling. And I was like, I could barely hear him. So I just ignored him. I ignored him. And he was like, well, what's your name? Like, how old are you? And, like, I just wanted to say that you look really pretty. And I was like, thanks. Like, thank you. Go along now. Thank you. Bye. So I go into my Chinese place, make my order, and I come out after like 5-10 minutes. He's there, outside of the door. Follows me to my next tea place. There's a bunch of cops outside of the tea place because that's the fire company right there, and they were doing some sort of celebration. I don't know. They were taking pictures. And I go into my tea place, and then, you know, I thought he vanished. I thought he went across the street or something. So I stay in there, take my time, go to the bathroom, whatever, look over the menu. And I was like, I was pretty upset because he wouldn't leave me. Like, he physically was following me, and I was like, dude, don't even make me, like, don't make me look like I'm like a fool, you know? Like, and he was shorter than me too. And I was wearing heels, so, you know, I could have done some serious damage. So he's there again. After I left my tea place, I'm crossing the street to go pick up my order from the other place. He's like, well, you know, like, Like, can I just get your number? Like, and I'm like, dude, I don't have a phone. You need to go. Go across the street. Like, leave me alone. Like, physically leave. Like, you don't understand who I am. I will stomp my heels into your face, you know? And I'm not doing it in front of all these people. And you're not going to get me to the point where I have to look stupid and reckless and inappropriate. Like, get yourself together so that we can all stay and play nice. Play nice. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a good look when women have to get angry and have to defend themselves. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look nice. It's not cute. Don't make me do it. So he keeps asking me, keeps up with it. He's like walking fast, stumbling, mumbling, like feeling through his pockets. He's like, I'm just a really shy guy. And I wasn't saying anything. Like, I just kept walking, you know? Like, I don't pay these people any attention. And I wasn't interacting. Like, I wasn't going to interact, and I also wasn't going to be like really, really like I wasn't going to be violent or stern, because he could have been like mentally unstable, and he could have like actually gotten really heated and upset, because I know how people are, and I can sense like what they can handle and what they can't handle. So he continues to follow me block to block to block. And I started to get really fucking pissed. And it was visible on my face and in the way that I was walking. And he was like, well, you know, do you have a Facebook? Like, maybe we could just be friends. And I was just like, dude, I'm about to flip, you know what I mean? So I couldn't even really stay out to do all, like, I was only really going to be there for lunch, but I could have enjoyed myself a little bit more and like went to the plant store, went to my little, you know, trinket shops and stuff like that. And it's just like, you never know who you're messing with in the streets. So you need to watch yourself, because just because I'm a woman doesn't mean I can't seriously put a number on you and devastate you. Like, just because I look nice and keep myself together, and, you know, just because someone looks like they're presentable for public, like you dress nice and whatever, like you take care of yourself, that doesn't mean that you should mess with that person, or, it doesn't mean that they're going to be like an easy target, you know? So, of course, this happens a lot, but it's only certain times that the people just won't give up. And I'm like, oh, you must have misunderstood. Like, we're not doing it that way. This is going to be done my way, which is the appropriate way, and you better step far away from me. Because I'm alone right now, but, you know, I have a lot of angels watching over me. Like, seriously, don't push me. And this is why I don't really go out that much without my clients, because no one will really come up to me as much when I'm with someone else. So I just feel more comfortable when I can go out with someone else, because then people won't be as inclined to approach me and say something and follow me around from store to store, from block to block. Like, that shit really pissed me off. And you really need to watch out who you're choosing to mess with. So those are my 3 stories, and having that happen in Philly today was just a reminder of the times in Asia when I had to lay those dudes down onto the ground. And they were cops. So people really need to learn where the boundaries are in this society, and that's for everywhere around the world. You can't just judge people just because they look nice, Just because they look nice doesn't mean they're rich. Just because she looks pretty and weak doesn't mean she won't fucking kill you with her own hand. With her own two hands. No weapons necessary. I don't walk around with knives. I don't walk around with a fucking gun. No. That's dirty. I mean, I understand people who have to. Trust me. You can walk around with whatever you need. But I'm telling you that I don't need that shit. And, you know, I have people protecting me up above. And you better not choose the wrong people to mess with. And you guys, you little boys that are running around, you need to keep your hands to yourself. And watch yourself. Because you will be put back into your place very quickly. And there's cameras everywhere. Even in the hood, there's cameras on the corners of the blocks. Everything is video cameraed. I can get your profile. I can do a background check on you in minutes. So there's just no point in playing those games with people, especially women. I don't know what it is exactly of why they have to approach a strong woman. I'm confused myself about the psychology behind it. I'm not sure why they think that they could have gotten away with that. Unless they're just dumb. Unless they're just type stupid. I'm not sure. So God bless. Watch yourself and let me know if you have any questions on how to defend yourself in the streets with crazy people, whether it's first world or third world. All right. Thank you so much. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Love you. Bye.